see. She just sent me a message. She is on Zoom.
Oh, okay.
So she is attending, so you can go ahead and start. I will make sure that she's unmuted.
All right. Well, let's call our first in-person Parks and Arts Commission meeting to order. A very long time. So, roll call. We have both Bob and Laura aren't here, and Connie's on Zoom. So we just need to make a motion to excuse Bob and Laura from today's meeting.
So,
okay. All in favor of excusing both commissioners?
Aye.
Okay. And opposed? So moved. Next order of business is to approve our March 7th meeting minutes. You guys have a copy of that. There's one change that I know of on the meeting minutes though, and that is Connie does not have access to our city email. And so she actually, we need to change her unexcused to excused. She just wasn't able to get us, I guess, message in time.
okay.
So that was the only change I had, unless you guys had something to add or change to the meeting minutes.
So,
okay, all in favor of approving the March 7th meeting minutes with that one change? All right, so moved. All right, do we have any citizen comments?
Nope.
Okay, staff report, Trevor?
yes, so the student member update. I did reach out to Ridgeline High School. There was a candidate that was very eager and wanted to join, but unfortunately they do not live in Liberty Lake. But I did put the application out to the counselors, and they are pushing that out to Ridgeline High School, and we are still publishing that on the city website and Facebook. So we have not had anyone apply yet. Hopefully we can get that filled sooner than later. Summer events for the city. Now that we're kind of getting out of COVID, we do have a full list of events. Yard sale kind of being the first big city sponsored event. Well, it's not a city event. The city sponsors it. Having food vendors at Pavilion Park on the upper portion. The whole shebang, getting back to the yard sale. Barefoot in the park, getting back to that. Doing beer garden with Kiwanis, live band, car show on the upper portion, food vendors. We are looking to bring business vendors in as well, like we have in the past. We do have Kiwanis working on that. 4th of July, obviously weather pending. It's if there's a fire issue, wind, we will postpone. But 4th of July is set to happen. Symphony was just confirmed. Bob Steinmiller, he just sent me a message this morning saying that it is on their calendar. They are confirmed. And then Touch a Truck was a fairly new event before COVID happened. We always did it at Town Square Park. Now we actually are going to shift it to Orchard Park and utilize the kind of the main trail that kind of runs from the northwest corner of the park to the south parking lot, and line all of our big equipment. We already have a lot of other companies that are very eager and wanting to join, bring large equipment out. We were talking about doing live music, but we're going to probably hold off this year to see how it goes at Orchard, but have music playing, food vendors, maybe a little kind of bounce amusement stuff for kids, and you see how it goes this year at Orchard Park. And then obviously Winterglow still happening this winter. And then the trailhead, our opportunity, we still are waiting for design. Not saying that April 19th council meeting there will be design proposals, but just kind of keep an eye out for that. So once we know when council approves the design, you guys will have a better idea of what that wall on the north portion of the new like, and be able to make a a decision if he would like to go forward with an art project there. And again, that is our property, so much different than Kramer overpass, going through the regulations, the rules. I mean, it has to fall within our signage code within the city, but it's our property. So you guys will have a lot more leeway to how it's going to be mounted, what's going to happen if you guys do choose to go forward with that. It's a great location.
Yeah.
That actually is going through this whole process over the years. That is actually one of the prime locations, I guess what they call it, within the city, is that corner right there, just based on visibility. So I think it's a great opportunity for Parks and Arts to possibly put something up there on that wall. Yeah, once we know design, when we have pictures, we'll obviously send it off to you guys, and you guys can make a decision from there.
So would it only be one art piece on the wall? Or is there future opportunities for benches or statues? Or... Yeah,
totally up to you guys. It's going to be a large wall. From what I know right now, it's going to be a large wall that will pretty much take the whole north end of the parking lot. So from the driveway entrance going to the west, the idea is to push the parking lot north and west and put this wall up to expand the availability for parking.
Okay.
So it's going to be, I mean, a vertical wall to support that.
And it'll be pushed out as close to the sidewalk as allowed.
Yeah, so right now it's sloped going towards the parking lot. I can't give you dimensions and like how close to the sidewalk because I have no idea. But it will be pushed closer to that sidewalk, and it'll be a large area. So instead of it being just a big retaining brick wall.
Has there been any discussion as to where they're going to put the signage for the facility? Will there be signage on the wall along with potential art, or is the signage going to be at some other location?
So what I know, they do plan to have some sort of signage, obviously for Trailhead Golf Course.
Right.
And then whatever restaurant is going to be coming in. There will be signage on that wall. I don't know where, I don't know how big, how much space it's going to take up. Again, design could be coming to City Council on the 19th. That's not definite. We might have a better idea after that. But there's going to be a large area available to possibly do some artwork.
Okay, and kind of makes me think about David's and I's conversation with the Rotary. We had talked about somewhere in Liberty Lake, putting something that showcased the different service clubs that we had in Liberty Lake, and maybe they could help contribute towards the artwork and have a little thing saying these are, yeah, saying that we have a local Kiwanis Club, a Rotary Club, Alliance Club.
So we were thinking maybe on the entrance into Liberty Lake.
Yes. That's what.
And not make it small.
Yes.
Big enough that people can see.
Yes. Well, that was what we had talked about with Rotary. They seemed very keen on that idea. But again, we're going to have to see what the design looks like and if it even makes sense. If there's already a lot of lettering on the wall, I don't know that it makes sense there.
I think maybe more towards the entrance.
I thought it might be nice, and then we could maybe do some artwork as well that they could.
Can we incorporate some of the names as part of our art?
Names of,
like you said that it was going to label the name of the restaurant or the name of
That's true. Yeah.
Could that be part of the art as far as like we had an artist draw up the name with like some symbols of Liberty Lake with the letters or anything like that, or is that gone and passed and on a thought?
so it's still in, like I said, it's still in design. So
okay.
Like it could be framed with art.
Yeah, like our but make it part of the art piece would be the name.
There could be a possibility. If that happens, I would say it's going to be very fast.
Maybe too fast.
And kind of, I mean, it could work out to where City Council receives the actual design, approved, and then if a meeting falls, a Parks and Arts meeting falls close to that time frame, where you guys could see that and make a decision, there is a possibility. But the project is moving very quick. And obviously because of building costs, that we're trying to move very fast once City Council approves the final design. So I don't want to say yes or no,
Okay.
but it's something for you guys to keep in mind that it could be a possibility. It just would be not something like a called artist. It would have to be something that you guys move pretty quick on.
And you don't know the material yet?
No.
So another thing during the summer, if, after a 2-year hiatus, our Rotary Club is gonna have a breakfast, breakfast.
Yep.
And we're also gonna do the luminaries, because that was a big hit last year,
Oh, yeah.
and the city helped with that.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
Yeah, and we're gonna do that again, you know, with
Okay.
the flag right in the middle, and it's coming all out.
Oh, yeah, that
It's
was
a
really
breakfast.
neat.
Yeah,
And
so we're doing both this year.
and the moving wall.
Yes.
The veteran moving wall is coming in September. August, September. So that'll be a great addition. It's not a yearly thing. This is just, they chose Liberty Lake and Pavilion Park. So that'll be a great addition to our kind of events for this year. City sponsored event.
Speaking of all of the events, a long time ago it seems, but we did have a Parks and Arts Commission kind of presence at Barefoot one year where we did like painting rocks. I don't know if that's stuff we'd be interested in doing or having a presence at any of these events, but we had a table, we had like some art markers, and kids came up and made, you know, painted rocks. They can take them or whatever. I don't know if we want to do something like that.
Is that the one that's hitting all of this in?
Probably. Probably.
And you just go around and pick up.
But if we did want to have a presence at Touch a Truck or at Barefoot, you know, now would be the time to start thinking of ideas or things we want to do. I think it's always good to get our name out there, kind of stuff we do. But
I know that our city staff sees those rocks all over,
yeah.
even outside of the city, mainly on the Centennial Trail.
It was really fun. And
Yeah.
the kids really liked it. It was something for them to do. That was kind of in the shady part,
Yeah.
you know, which was kind of nice.
I think it's a great opportunity for you guys to kind of get Parks and Arts Commission out there. Maybe if you guys do plan to do something like that, where it's maybe a booth, maybe consider some sort of banner. Obviously, you guys would have to get the approval within the group to purchase a banner. We go through Screen Tech here at Liberty Lake. We purchase a lot of our banners and graphics through them. That might be a great opportunity for the Parks and Arts Commission to have a booth with a banner. This is who we are. This is what we do. And then the rocks.
I mean, I always wonder, like, and I don't know logistics of it, but you know, are we able to take donations and stuff like that? Is that something
So
that we're
what
allowed to do?
You can. It just has to go through the city donation policy.
Okay.
So yes, you can take donations.
Okay.
Donations in hand at the event. I don't know how that would work.
Okay.
Because I know donations have to go through the city council for approval.
Oh,
I
gotcha.
don't
So
know
you
if
couldn't
it's-
like be like, this is who we are. And, okay. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
The city council might be able to approve just a donation jar at the booth during that one time for just miscellaneous. I mean, it's not gonna be private.
Yeah, they might be able to. The donation policy, it took a while for city council to kind of get everything ironed out to make sure everything was falling under the city policy. So definitely something at a city council meeting to bring up.
Okay.
If you guys are interested at a report, I would
Okay.
definitely recommend bringing that up. I can give you guys a little more information after this meeting on the donation policy within the city, because Parks and Arts does fall under that. But that's a great idea to be able to have approval beforehand.
Okay.
If I recall it, Barefoot, if it was, if I'm remembering correctly, don't they kind of want a kids activity at every booth, and that, because it's really to drive the kids and get them interested in different things.
Yeah, there was. I think it was all, some of them were some of like,
So the agenda.
put down your parents' email and, you know.
Yeah.
But I did feel like they had giveaways and
Yeah.
stuff, so, yeah. And maybe we still even have the art markers. I think we all purchased it, and kept them. It's just a matter of gathering some rocks and
Well,
someone
couldn't
being
they
there.
donate it to Kiwanis?
Huh?
Couldn't they donate their money to Kiwanis?
Maybe.
Want to go to the city, right?
I'm sure there's lots of
I
loopholes.
mean,
you
just like
could-
donations to
yeah.
the hub, right?
There's ways to make it easier. But if you want a donation to go to Parks and Arts, it would have to go through the financial policy, the donation policy for the city.
I think it would be nice for us to know for future reference as well.
Could you send that policy out to us or?
Yes. Yeah, so it is obviously accessible to the public, but I will send after this meeting, I'll send it to all of you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, link to access that, so that way you guys have a better idea of the donation policy. That is all I have for the staff report.
One more question for you. Is there anything planned of the fireworks for 4th of July? Is it at the Pavilion Park?
So we are working on a ban. Kiwanis is going to be doing concessions, and then kind of status quo of years in the past. We will be doing fireworks, hopefully live band. It's all weather permitting. If it's too windy, if it's too dry, that's not our call, just like it was last year. That is the call from the pyrotechnics and Spokane Valley Fire. So we work closely with them the day of. The plan is to hold the fireworks on July 4th. I think it's a Monday this year. Right, so it's not going to be on Saturday, Sunday.
It's always the actual day.
The actual day of July 4th. We have not talked if it does not happen on the 4th. We have not talked about moving it to Symphony. That would be a discussion with Kiwanis and the Symphony if that happens. But it worked out last year that way, so we'll see. Hopefully it happens on the 4th.
Can you give me your budget for a ban, potential ban? So, we still have our contacts through FOPP, so we can be happy to help with those. So,
Yeah, so we are meeting, the city is meeting with Kiwanis. Obviously in the past, the FOPP has done the bans for Barefoot and 4th of July. It's new this year. So we're working on budget numbers right now. We're gonna meet with Kiwanis on Wednesday to go over what the kind of the needs and what our budgets are set in place for. So if you're okay with it, David, we'll wait until after we meet with Kiwanis.
I think with everything that's changed recently, I think there'll probably be a lot more acts that are open normally. I mean, obviously by this time of year, everything's signed up. So, but I think we'll probably sell some offers. So let us know what that is, and there's a few of us that can come up with a couple of names in Kiwanis as well.
Absolutely.
Okay. Any other questions or thoughts for events? Okay. So moving on to unfinished new business, we actually have a quick presentation from Junior League. We've talked in the past, they're interested in doing a temporary story walk in Orchard Park. They had come to us about that, and David had gotten some more information to share.
Okay, so you guys can see there's a 4-page presentation from the Junior League in Spokane up there, and this started last year. They would like to put a presentation similar to what we have with Story Walk, but it's temporary. So it will go up in Orchard Park. They will take care of it from what I understand, and then I assume just take it down after that. But there's really nothing that we need to do as far as getting a permanent one there. We're probably a ways off from that. Our previous school that kids that made that, there really isn't anybody that has stepped up to wanting to do that yet. So I think this is a great idea. It enhances the park. And that picture there is from the Ridge, we just lost the name, Kendall Yards.
Yeah.
So that's where they had there. So I think it would be a great addition. They've come to us twice wanting to do this. And I mean, personally, I'm totally all for it. Want to see if anybody had any questions.
What's the duration? How long, I mean,
You know, to be totally frank, we've had so many conversations with them over the last couple of years, last year and a half. I forgot the actual duration that she said, but I'll find out.
Great idea.
Yeah, I have a,
Or you can give your email over there. Or just send her a message and ask her if you would mind how long she planned to put that up.
What's keeping those signs up?
they're just staked in the ground, I think.
I think they're
Well,
wires.
that says
I think
for
they're
a
wires.
1
I think
to
they're
2
wire
week
stakes.
time frame during the month of May.
There we go.
So it's all temporary.
Just answer my.
Yeah.
Is it the roll?
They have a book in mind.
Is it the one on the presentation here? The
It's-
lightning book?
Bigfoot and the lightning bug. They have the rights to that one and have it ready to go. They don't think they're able to do a new one,
Okay.
but yeah. That's the one. They said maybe they could consider doing a new one for Winter Glow though. I don't know if we want to do that or if that would just distract from all the other stuff going on, but
It's too dark too early during winter
yeah,
flow.
I would think so, but
I mean, while it could work,
Yeah.
that time of year, it's just dark by 3:30 in the afternoon.
yeah.
There's really no sense of having it during winter glow. I mean, there's really no benefit
No, I don't think so.
other than getting in the way of you guys setting up.
Yeah. But yeah, I
We
think
take down, come back up.
it's a great idea. They do it in Coeur d'Alene all the time too. I know they did it at Thanksgiving
I
one
saw it,
year.
seen it
and
out there.
It's really fun. Just kind of a new thing to go to the park for. So
Even with winter glow, there's that December storm,
they'll put it up.
it blows everywhere.
And they have all the signs, yeah.
Those who blow.
Yeah, easily.
They would blow.
It'll be everywhere.
The way they're staked in there, the winds we get in the spring. You'd be able to pick up signs.
Well, that is a good thought for May, is that it's still pretty windy here.
But isn't that like the campaign sign, so it'll just kind of wave in the wind maybe?
Maybe.
So the conversations that I've had with Junior League Impact and with David was they are responsible for maintenance, vandalism. It's not on the city. So they would have to come out. Obviously, our staff would support as much as possible as needed and available, but it's my understanding that they would take full responsibility and ownership of the maintenance of those. There would have to be a temporary sign permit pulled through the city. So whether it's through Junior Impact or through Parks and Arts,
Okay.
there's no cost, basically just a date,
Okay.
contact the city, pull a temporary sign permit. So that would
Okay.
be something to reach out to them. Again, there's no cost, so either through Parks and Arts would pull it or Junior Impact.
Okay.
Well, one of the things why we built Story Walk the way we did in Rocky Hill, it can't be stolen.
Well, not without a lot of effort.
So that's the last
Yeah.
question is, I know the extra cameras were put up after all the vandalism of winter glow and stuff. Would this be placed in a place where those cameras would be seen?
So as a city employee who has been around a lot of vandalism, I would recommend, and I can give you guys recommendations
Okay.
on where to put those. Vandalism, if it's gonna happen,
If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, but at least cover.
To be a more visual,
Yeah.
we can give you guys options on where the most visible areas are going to be from the cameras. I could see if either Chief Simmons or Lieutenant Morgan could also chime in, give you guys some options. But yeah,
I know
that's a
we
great
said
option.
that it would be their responsibility, but I don't know.
Well, we
I
want to
feel
set it up
horrible
for
if-
success.
Yeah, I feel horrible
Yeah.
if they're like, yeah, let's do this, and then 2 days in.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if it's 1 to 2 weeks, vandals don't find it till
Yeah.
the 1 to 2 weeks is over.
Yeah, I think 1 to 2 weeks. I probably won't have a lot to worry about it. You know, let's just say something happened to it a week into it. It's not like it's a major thing, but and if they wanted to replace it for a second week, they can. If they don't, that's fine too. So
I think it's great to try. If it works out, and they're happy, and we're happy, then maybe they'll do it again.
Do you guys want to make a motion to approve the project? That way it's just on record and then we'll move forward with all the logistics.
I would move that the Junior League of Spokane install at Orchard Park the book for a 2-week time frame during the month of May.
Second. All right, all in favor of this project? So moved, unanimous. Okay, so we'll get the details as like certain dates, and we'll either have them pull a sign permit or we'll do it.
Yep.
And then we can work on installation guidelines, where we should put it, things like that.
And just David, I know you threw out there in May,
Okay.
but keep in mind the 2 events that we have, Touch a Truck and then the Cornhole event. So it could be a better opportunity for that to be more visible during those events, but obviously it's up to you guys.
Cornhole's not until August,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, it's in August, and then Touch a Truck is the second or third Friday in July. I will send you guys an email after this and let you guys know what the date for Touch a Truck is. Just throwing that out there.
We could let
Just-
them know that we have 2 big events going to be there, and if they're interested in doing it then, but if not, I think
That's
May
the
is
second
perfect.
time by then, right?
Yeah.
So are we saying that we want to ask them if they want to move the date?
I don't know if it was negotiable or not. I know they threw it out there a couple times, and I don't know if that's because they were doing something somewhere else other times. I think we stick with May, but maybe we say we do have 2 kind of bigger events coming in the summertime, if that's any interest to them.
So you have the approved motion to reach out and go with May,
Yeah, I
but
mean,
you can
my
reach out
thought,
and come back and make a motion to change accordingly.
sure. My thought is, let's spread it out. It's not like it's
Yeah.
an event that is designed to draw people to the park. The park is going to have people in it anyway. This is just a little addition. So I think whether it's in May or July or August really has no bearing. There's still going to be a lot of people out there.
Especially as it gets warmer. I think it's kind of fun to have something, as the park comes alive in the springtime.
Winter ever ends, it'd be great to have that.
Yeah. The one warm day I went with my daughter to the park and it was really fun. Yeah, it was full.
Do you want me to reach out to her, Trevor?
Yeah, if you could.
Yeah, we'll follow up there. So I would like to stay
Okay.
with May.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, that's what their preference is, and it works for them.
Everybody's good with that?
Yeah. Other unfinished business, Liberty Lake Rotary sponsorship opportunity. I'm assuming that's just kind of the discussions we've had with them.
Yeah, just kind of for you as a group to give a yay or nay, or if you guys are interested, just so they're not kind of left wondering.
I mean, my thought process on projects coming up where they are a great fit are obviously Trailhead, the Kramer Overpass whole pocket park opportunity is another thought.
Weren't we specifically talking that they want a welcome sign? Because you mentioned that just a few minutes ago, that's what Rotary wanted to sponsor.
I think that's what piqued his interest the most out of kind of our discussions, but obviously they have pillars of service, like, education is one, recreation and healthy, habits is another. So, even in my thoughts, we mentioned, at some point we're going to be redoing Pavilion Park Playground. That's a great opportunity for Rotary. That fits into one of their pillars. So the closer it fits into one of their pillars, the more money that could be available, right? Because they can get matching grants from the bigger organization. So that's just kind of, I don't know that we should create a new project for Rotary just because we've got quite a few projects that are in process, but there's a couple out there I feel like that they could definitely be a part of and be happy with.
And it could be maybe the trailhead parking lot.
So
So,
were you at the council meeting?
Not every council meeting, Tom.
You were at the council meeting?
No, I wasn't.
So we made a presentation, the new building that's gonna go on. And we would supply all the audio visual stuff in there. And maybe we'd have a little rotary spoke in the entrance, something like that. And then we'd be donating up to $50,000 to that.
Oh, I saw that
And
splash.
and all we'd be getting is, every Thursday at noon, we would not pay to be there from noon to 1.
Oh,
But, you know, we do $50,000, and since you're looking into audio visual stuff, you may have some different ideas too, because it'd be nice to have everything wireless, right?
Yep.
With a great sound system for weddings, birthdays,
Yep.
whatever else. Screens. Just a thought.
Yeah. No,
And
it's-
there's another project we're thinking about. We got Don Walker, who's a veteran. He saw this in another city, banners on the streetlights that have a picture of somebody who served. Could be somebody who's serving right now, and it would stay up there for 2 years, and the cost is like what was it? It'd be like $225, $250 banner, but have it down. Could be down in Indiana. There's lights on both sides, and these have this, and they're wind resistant because they got the slits in them. Plastic, you know, and Vista would probably be putting those up because that's their lights.
So I
we're
will let you
working
know
on
that.
that too.
Yeah, so in the past, Avista's laws and regulations have not allowed those.
Right.
They since have changed. We just found out
We just found out too.
about a month ago or so. So we've been working closely with Avista because we would like to promote our city events on our light poles.
You guys don't have a budget.
So it would be, there would be an install fee. We do not have a bucket truck. We are looking to get a man lift, the city itself, but there obviously still would be a cost to that on the city side, which we could figure out. But there is an opportunity to now start adding those based on Avista's new guidelines for their light poles. Now, this is not all light poles. If it's privately owned,
It would be.
it would have to be the owners.
Yeah, it'd be more like a walkway of Hall of Fame or something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure,
Once you're-
especially if it was something like trying to put a veteran, put their name, their picture, and
When they served in.
what they serve for living or past, but there is an opportunity for it.
Yeah.
We're still just working that out, so just keep that in the back of your mind that it's not a guarantee.
Right.
But the city is working closely with Avista to make sure, and then obviously Rotary to make sure that we can.
We'll just have a little rotary spoke down the bottom of the corner.
So Tom, do you feel like there's opportunity from Rotary for something parks and arts specifically related, or is this more like,
We're open anyway.
like because I feel like, well, Trailhead really isn't us. I mean, maybe we'll have an opportunity to do something, but that kind of stuff doesn't really fall with us. So I don't know if Rotary's looking for artwork, public art opportunities as well, or if it's more one or the
I mean, it
other.
could be like on the roundabouts.
Yeah, no, there's definitely
And, you know, like
opportunities.
there, all we want to do is just put a little, you know, sponsored by Rotary.
Yeah.
And then whatever designs we have around that.
Well, and that's another,
There's running people on bikes.
that's
golfers.
another option is the roundabout.
Yeah.
That's coming as well. That was another project that's coming that we talked about. Okay. So
Just like true.
I love it. I just, you know, I don't know that we have an answer right this second, other than we would love to do something. It's just a matter of what. Well, all three of those projects are a little bit down the road here. So
Well, the clubhouse, they're gonna start on that this May.
yes, no, I know. So that one is probably the quickest. But we don't know any yet.
And as far as I know, the idea, the plan is to do the parking lot first. So it could be very quick. Again, that's not definite, that's just
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah.
So if you guys are wanting to move forward, even if it's just kind of an idea to get some temporary mounts during the install, but that is just kind of being progressive and throwing that out there for you guys. It's gonna move very quick.
Well, I just think, just like the bridge, I don't think we can design anything for the bridge till we see the bridge.
So you actually see the structure.
And see
And
the
then-
open space.
And then the rub is that then we're not moving quick enough because artwork doesn't get created instantly, then we've missed our opportunity, so,
But we, you know, we can't design for the wall until we see the wall.
yeah.
But to me, a wall should be something that months down the road, before the whole project is done, art can be added to a wall. It's a little different than the design of a bridge and sticking something in there. It's a wall.
Well, yeah, but you can always anchor things in, just cement anchors.
And again, it's our property, so it just has to basically fall within our signage scope within the city. It's not reaching out to DOT. So there's more flexibility than what there is at the Kramer.
No art is gonna happen quickly.
No, I do think that if anyone has any grand ideas of what would be beautiful on the corner of this, you know, then please, let's start looking into it now.
My vote's 3D metal,
Yeah,
Metal is.
like the fish downtown.
well, and I don't know what it's gonna
No,
look like
actually,
anyways.
but like,
Yeah.
Color.
but yeah.
So like the tree
Something,
has a green, is a blue lake,
yeah,
Liberty Lake and whatever color.
the actual lake and trees, or
Yeah,
That, I know, and, yeah. I don't-
something like that, that could be
Shiny
anchored in.
Yeah.
yes,
Because we get one chance to do this.
I know. And it's a big
And
spot,
Liberty
so.
Lake should be stand out. Just my thing.
Yeah, no, it's a great opportunity for you guys to do a great piece out there in my
Yeah,
opinion.
and it's not that we have to come up with the design either. If we need a call to artists out to say, hey, this is what we're thinking, like have people submit ideas, you know, that actually are artists, that's always a good idea.
And would,
That's just I'm not an artist, that's why.
would eastbound lane the same as the westbound lane?
Yeah.
One's coming, one's going.
Well, that's something
Just
to
about.
consider, yeah.
I might go with
All right. Action items, discussions, presentations, we just have Hooptown on there. I don't know if we have an update, Nancy.
Well, I did the city council presentation and there was
Perfect,
some
yeah.
positive.
Yeah, I didn't
feedback there.
see anyone that had anything negative, just everyone was super excited, so I think we.
So Trevor, I have a question for you. I want to make sure that the project keeps going and next steps. And at some point in my head is we need to come up with a theme for the court mural. And then once we decided as a group what we wanted to see that, then we could do a call to artists for someone to produce some art.
Well, and I wasn't sure with Connor, if did it go in that order, or was it more like the call to artists and then I mean, I guess some of them there was a theme already picked.
Yes,
the
like
native
Franklin
theme,
Park, they
yeah.
had the Native American theme. So I think you have to pick a theme and then you do the call to artists and it falls within that. Because really the
That's our next
resurfacing
step.
is going to be a coordination effort by city staff. Booptown will work with city staff on the backboards and you know, the rims and all that replacement. So the big thing to me as a commission we have to work on is the mural piece of it. So the next step would be the theme and then to create a timeline. And Trevor, you would be knowing that more than I would about when we need to do this, this, and this so that the project can come to fruition in 2023.
So I think your guys' first step is going to be, I myself have reached out to City of Spokane to see how they went about these community art projects. I do have contacts that I can share with you all, but to get an idea of cost, what this art project could cost, because obviously it's going to be in addition to what we already have set on our CFP within the city to redo the courts. So the city already will be in place redoing those courts at Pavilion Park. But then there's obviously going to be an additional cost associated with that, with the art project that you guys are going forward with. So getting that an estimated cost, obviously higher than lower, and then going to council for approval. from there, because it's probably not going to happen until late April, May of 2023. We're going through this right now at Orchard Park. We had our resurfacing that was supposed to be done this last fall. The company still is not coming back because they need temperatures to be at X for this period of time. So you do still have quite a bit of time as far as the actual project being done, but the budget numbers really need to be in place sooner than later. We will be going to city council in October for our budgets, but by late July, August, we would like to have a better idea. So that way myself and Jen, we can add that to your budget for 2023. So I would start there.
Well, it kind of felt like Connor, like for some of the courts, they got big sponsors that kind of helped with costs for some of the different ones. And I didn't know if that was going to be the case for one like us.
Well, what Connor said is they had the 5-year multi-care grant.
Right.
And he said out of that grant, they would probably only be able to do the backboard upgrades.
Oh, gotcha.
And unless more money came available, but the multi-care, they have already spent quite a bit of that money, and they felt they could do that, and then they would help coordinate with staff, you know, on some of the other things. We could potentially go out and possibly get a local sponsor. You know, we would have to work with Hooptown because they may have to credit multi-care for something, but I mean, I think that's a minor problem. So if we had a local, like an STCU or someone like that, could potentially sponsor the mural part. We'll have to be careful, and I can do some research on that if you have the information. I'm happy to, but I'd want to compare it with the one at Riverfront Park by the new podium, because that's a double court.
Yeah.
Because this will only be the second double court that's been done as a community court. So that'd probably give us a more realistic cost. I don't know the dimensions, how different they might be, slightly different.
That one is a little bit bigger. And then also things to consider are going to be vandalism and maintenance, and then also who's going to be responsible once it fades when the court is resurfaced. Is that going to be completely covered and redone the same way, or are you going to do a new call to artist, or is it just going to be resurfaced as a court? So those are also things to keep in mind.
They already had vandalism at the Riverfront Park one, and I think that it was just repaired to look the same way. I don't know how long those surfaces last. I can't remember what Connor said, and I don't know if they know because it's fairly new.
So yeah, it depends on the usage. I don't have age, like kind of what the companies, their product, what they basically say with our area, how long they're going to last, I do not know. We obviously have within our CFP when we want to redo our courts, but that would be something to reach out to City of Spokane. Again, I can send you guys contacts since City of Spokane is going through this, but just keep in mind that there's unfortunately going to be vandalism, most likely. Who's going to be responsible? Is that going to be the artist? Is that going to be the installer? Is that going to be the city, Parks and Arts? Who's going to fund the paint, the labor?
I'm sure it's not going to be the artist or the installer. It's going to be the city.
Yeah.
From what I understand, what the City of Spokane is doing, that they do maintain and they are touching up any vandalism graffiti that's being done. They were given the paint from the project, and then as staff is able to go out there whenever there is vandalism, they are touching it. I could be wrong, but that was my last conversation. I do believe that's what the City of Spokane is doing.
And is there a non-slip sealer?
So
that they can apply every year or something like that?
So it's not a sealer, it's just the sport court surface itself. So the paint that they put down, there are two different products that you could purchase. One has more color options than the other. Aero Construction, that's who the city uses. They are pretty much the go-to sport court surface company in the area. It does just have the natural grip. So if you go out to any of our sport court surfacing here, it has that natural grip built into it. So it's not a smooth surface, it's not brushed. I don't think that they add a texture. I think it is just a part of the paint that's put down. It just has that natural grip added into it. So
If you haven't been, you should go to the one at Riverfront Park there below the podium and by the playground. It's spectacular. It's stunning. Never thought about art in that way, but it really is a piece of art.
Yeah.
And functional. Because it's gritty.
And I will say within the conversation that Nancy and I have had with Connor and Newtown, Multicare puts their logo on all courts that they donate funds to.
Right.
So if Multicare were to donate funds to Liberty Lake or Pavilion Park or whatever project, I'm sure that they would require that their logo be put somewhere on that court. So just keep that in mind. And then also, if you guys do reach out to local businesses, I think it'd be a great opportunity for a local business to have their logo on there, but just keep that in mind. Multicare does, as far as I know, they do require that their logo is put on that court, whatever funds are being appropriated to that project.
Well, I'll talk to Connor about the level of their contribution, what their expectation is, because they've spent some serious Multicare money on some of those courts, whereas this would be a lesser contribution.
Right. And
I'll
if
ask
they're doing backboards, is it okay if we get another sponsor to cover and have
Right,
the logo
right,
on the actual surface?
I'll talk to Connor.
Those are just questions we need to know, because I mean, lots of things come to mind to me as far as like local sponsors. Obviously, we could do a bank, we have a zillion of them, but also like Liberty Lake Athletic Club would be a cool one. Or, you know, there's just lots of businesses within Liberty Lake that might be interested.
George, Tesla.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
Yeah, there's a couple.
Well, there's simple as Michael Blue. I want to contribute something to that.
Yeah.
Well, what I'll do is I'll ask Connor about the allowed sponsorships and those levels, and maybe we can even create a sponsorship level program. Who knows? And I'll try and if we could get together maybe about setting a budget based on what the city of Spokane spent.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we use theirs and theirs is bigger, that'll be, then we'll have it should be okay for us.
Yeah, and definitely, even if you guys get a number now, I would probably go at least 20% above, not knowing what product prices are going to be come 2023. Could be lower, could be higher. I think 20% is a fairly comfortable margin to account for. But who knows? Again, the city already has funds set aside in the CFP for this project. So the project's going to happen regardless.
Yeah.
The city will cover the funds for the resurfacing of those courts. Our portion is going to go to the commission for you guys to go to city council with the approval. And go from there.
Then find out how much per court.
Yeah, and it's, I don't know.
So
I can't really remember.
Something?
Yeah, it's kind of, because our courts are so spaced, they're so far apart.
Yeah.
And then the courts that Nancy's referring to below the podium, I think there's actually 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's for sure 4 hoops, but the way it's kind of laid out, I think you can go east to west on a full, and then the 2 southern are just half. So I don't know if you can really go based on court. I think it's probably more square footage. But that would be something to reach out to the city of Spokane, Aero Construction, again, who they do all of our resurfacing here for the city. I would imagine it's probably going to be more square foot than court.
So it'll still have like the key.
Yes.
Three-point line and
Yes.
maybe
You'll see all that 3-point line, the key,
pickleball.
pickleball won't be there anymore.
So we do not have
Oh, that's on tennis courts.
the course that you guys are referring to right now for this project. There are no pickleball lines on that court. The 2 courts it is just basketball. There are roller hockey lines. We don't know if we're going to keep those when we resurface. We don't really see people using them as roller hockey. So those run east to west. The hoops are on the north and the south end.
I see that going away.
Yeah, and that would be obviously a conversation with Parks and Arts Commission and then City Council. So once we kind of get more involved in this project, where it's, what the art piece is gonna be, recommendation from the Parks and Arts Commission to City Council on, do we need those roller hockey lines? Because there's a large cost that's going to be included if you add those roller hockey lines. That really, at least from city staff, we don't see being used that much.
And I think with the Hoop Town partnership, they're gonna wanna see a dedicated basketball area, and not have the court cluttered with other visual lines out there.
Yeah, I would agree.
But if it's your guys' pleasure, I will try to answer some of these questions and get some budget numbers, and then I can report back at the next meeting. And then, you know, we can just keep going down this road.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys be thinking of themes. I don't know. I don't have anything that comes straight to mind, but that's another thing we have to determine. Think on it.
And just be a wild collage of colors.
It could be. Yeah. Anything else we need to discuss? Okay, well, our next meeting is scheduled for, let's see, Monday, May 2nd. If that works for everyone. Yep, Monday, May 2nd. So without anything else, we will end the meeting for today. Okay. Meeting adjourned.
This information, you just want to email me, or do you want to get
Yeah,
together one day? Or?
I mean, I can email them, and if you want to get together as well.
Okay, why don't you shoot me an email, I'll take a look.
So Lexi Hall was drafted number 6, which is huge. Stanford CV.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that?
I said, really? Wow.
Yeah, that's great. She's expected to go second round, but they picked her in the first round for 6.
Wow.
That's a lottery pick. That's